What's up, gang? Good morning. It is 8:30 and my period's coming in sometime in the next 48 hours. It's a full moon in Capricorn. I have developed a Gel X nail allergy, ripped all those off a moment ago. And I'm off an hour and a half of sleep after having a weird ass dream. So, now we're here. Now we're here. So I want to say things about how being nice sucks. And this is not a who hurt you moment. You know, I wasn't really having like conversations like that with people yesterday. Like it's really not even that. Oh shit. Where's my thing? I want my stem. You know the stem I had before? I totally brought it. Hell yeah. I want to talk with my stem. Even though this is like the one time that my outfit like works for this, I don't care because I want my stem. Let me make sure this is still working. Pop, 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 pop. Yes. Kind of looked like a turtle. That was kind of cute of me. Period. Bam, bang. Kapow. This one might be extra silly because when I'm sleep deprived, and especially, I mean, if I'm gonna be sleep deprived anywhere, I want to be sleep deprived outside. Um, and then, yeah, but if I'm sleep deprived, I do start to hallucinate. So that might happen. I might, nothing crazy. I'm gonna just watch things be like, they're just gonna do that and that's gonna be fine. I wish I could show you. I always wish I could show people. Anyways, I really, really believe that being nice sucks. Like, dead ass. And first of all, for everyone who's like, what the fuck? I'm not talking about kindness. I'm not talking about that. No. Be kind. Kind good. We like kind, as bland as their cereal bars are, as bland as their entire line of food is. You know what I mean? Kindness, hell yeah. Nice? Man, I once had a friend who was in high school. Um, and she didn't go to my high school though, but I knew her in high school. And I remember the first time hearing this, she was like, "Oh yeah, some about nice as an insult," and it was my first time hearing that. But like, I 1,000% agree with the philosophy because, as I understand it, being nice is a performance. And there are so many performances in this lifetime to perform. And the nice one is so fucking overplayed. Like, can we stop with that, by the way? Like, please? Um, and it's not like if you having a pleasant day and you being a nice girl, I'm gonna be like, fuck that bitch. Like, I'm. Oh my god. Me a little more tired too. Like, by the way, I think I'm so funny. I really do think I'm funny, but now that I'm tired, it might be exacerbated crying. Y'all are like, what the fuck does this have to do with the journey to quantum camp? You know what? You don't have to be here. You can leave, or you can share the rest of your snack with the class. All right. So, um, yes, there are better performances to perform. There are better performances to perform. And beyond performance, it's just a mask. There are better masks to wear. It's just a mask. And I had posted on threads recently um, about, like, I was like, yo, does anyone know how to put the mask back on? I didn't say those exact words. I don't remember what I said exactly, but I was saying that because I've never, as a neurodivergent baddie, I did learn at a young age that masking is important. We learned, I think I do it best around family and obviously work. Duh. Run that check. Is that a mosquito? Girl, you better get away from me. That is my coffee. Mine. Mine. Oh, why do you have to be so invisible and small? Sorry, guys. I'm like, I can't. Because I'm not editing these videos, so. And I already have floaters, and I'm hallucinating a little bit. So come on. What is this? Better bite somebody else. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So you learn to mask fam vibes and work vibes for me primarily. Obviously, work, well, not obviously, but work did not happen for me in a real way until older years. So mostly family. We're going to go with family because I tried. When it came to school, I tried and I failed. I failed. I really did. I really did fail. I think, you know what? I successfully did mask in school pre college. We're going to say pre college one time. And that one time was my senior year. Yes. Um, I remember, wow, that looks like an eye. So, you know how in the tree has like has the like bulgy spot and then it's dark. It literally looks like an eyeball in the tree. This one isn't because I'm hallucinating. Like it actually looks like that. Anyways, my bad. In high school, I was like, wow, the fakeness is so much and the not fitting in is so much. You know what? I'm going to try it. And I remember making a very conscious decision moving into my senior year. I was like, I'm gonna bust down those doors. It was like half outdoor. I'm gonna walk onto that campus and I'm going to do exactly what they do. And I'm gonna just say the words. Um, I'm just gonna mimic and I'm gonna pretend. And in my brain, it felt so campy to do this. Like it felt, because I was acting. It was just so conscious though. And wouldn't you fucking know it, it worked. Wouldn't you fucking know it, it worked. I remember how, like, wow, I felt after being like, oh my God. And I'm picking a random name and I can't pick a random prep school name without it actually being a real name. So this is not a call out. But I come on campus. I'm like, what is even a prep school name that I didn't know in school? Terrible. Like, oh my God, Brianna, tell me. Tell me about this thing I don't care about. Oh my God, really? That's wild. Now, look, I'm making a general example. Maybe it sounds like I'm being mean. I don't care. Um, but the point I'm trying to make is that it worked. it worked. And for most of that year, I kept it up. And I remember someone literally saying, like, about me and a friend of mine, like, why aren't we like cool with y'all before? Like, y'all didn't fuck with the authenticity. Like, I was the same person. um, oh my god, Mr. Mosquito, were you just like hiding under there? You can't get me. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Um, yeah, I'm the same person, and mind you, this isn't some long-standing bone I had to pick with the people I went to high school with. Like, I moved schools every year or every 2 years, sometimes twice in 1 year. Like, I moved schools constantly. So this was just high school. Anyways, I digress. I think I learned to truly resent niceness because of the, and this is just my experience, so I can't be like, this is the only one. I'm not saying that, but it's just, I had it in a very concentrated form. It's also in an extremely, 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 extremely white environment. So being the token will do something to you. Um, Now, as I've grown up, I'm a full-fledged adult, I guess. This is the face of a full-fledged adult. Um, I'm a full-fledged adult, I guess. Um, I find that because I tried to keep up that act into my first year of college, not as bad, but I more so was just like, give me friends or give me death. I'm not gonna be a weird kid anymore. I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna have friends. Yeah, none of them were my actual friends for real. Uh, I did it, and a bitch was miserable. So quickly abandoned that. So, and 1 year at the end of high school and 1 year at the beginning of college, and I was like, well, that mask sucks. Why do people wear it? Um, and this is the attitude that I have kept truly for all of my life. And I think I've made a habit out of finding people who more so had my experience, or I don't know, I'm always like here for the underdog. I'm always like there for the weird kid type vibe. Um, it is my personal opinion that most of the weird kids and awkward kids grew up to be really fucking cool. So that's been super affirming. Also, shout out us entering the age of Aquarius. Like, it's our time. Come on. Fuck out of here. If either of my parents are watching this, I'm sorry for all the cursing. You're just gonna have to get over it. I'm so sorry. I love you. Um, Goodness gracious. I hadn't been worried about them watching these videos until this, but this is really not bad. It's fine. I've probably done more. I know I've done more embarrassing things. Um, as I encounter niceness in my day-to-day life as a 31-year-old, I only got a couple months left of being a 31-year-old, and I see when I hear, okay, I got 2 calls yesterday. I had 2 friends call me talking about, like, back to back. It was weird. Talking about, both of them distraught. Also, not a casual hey what's up. It's like a can you hear me out? Fuck this shit type call. I was like, yeah, go ahead. And both of those situations, one was with friendships, another was freelance creative work scenario. somewhere in their interactions, the part that made the interaction really challenging and emotionally distressing, the part that for some reason couldn't be negotiated past, was the niceness. Somewhere in the situation, there, it's like, well, I can't tell her this because it's like the niceness is some sort of shield, social contract, whatever. And it's like, well, I couldn't just tell her this. And I think like where it really comes into play for me is the fact that I love telling the truth, and people have an issue with that. It seems people kind of put it in two categories. You're either nice or you're how do people say it? They say the harsh truth, you know, the blunt truth. It's usually harsh truth, or oh, that's what it is, the brutal truth. And I'm like, y'all, damn, like it is not that serious. Like, yo, like please say swear. Like, oh my gosh, I forgot I have another pillow. Period. Hold on. Okay. Thought I dropped my little breakfast sandwich. You know, we bring in the quantum corner outside. I got my pillows. Bam. Ooh. 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 She's cozy. Hold on. Stop. Ooh, she's so cozy, yo. This is nice. Oh, yo. Stop. Stop. I'm so excited. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. What was I even? I'm like, good night, y'all. Okay. What was I even talking about? That's crazy. Y'all know I really don't watch these back, right? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. The brutal truth. It is. It's funny because I think we need to be, I think we need to be more practiced with truth telling, because I think truth telling gets a bad rap because people don't do it enough. People wait people wait till they are overflowing. People wait till they are getting burst like a bubble, like a balloon. People wait until they explode to tell the truth. And that is just not okay. Because now the truth, which I personally find deeply comforting and truly liberating, like like I think the issue is that we don't do it enough. So when we do it, we're really bad at it. And like it's either big explosion vibes or like super lax tact. Like, yo, tact, look, I'm not I'm not pro nice. I'm still pro tact, which I could get better at. Definitely. There's room for improvement. Absolutely. But I do think that I'm decent. I'm going to say decent. I'm not amazing. I'm decent. But you know why I think I'm decent? Cuz I really do what's it called? I really try to tell the truth as often as possible. That is actually a terrible way to say it. I am really bad at not telling the truth. Somewhere along the way, I decided I'm not a person who lies, and it's really hard to go back once you've kind of committed to that. But yeah, I'm like, yo, I hear these situations. I got my two friends talking to me, telling me their situations, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, why didn't you just tell her how you felt? Like right then, like it didn't have to be a big deal. it would have ended everything. Everything would have been okay. There would have been no confusion. I'm like, you're mad and have all of this overflowing anger and frustration. And all of that only exists because you didn't tell the truth. Because we all, somewhere along the way, agreed that it's better to just be nice. Of course, it all ties into, conflict aversion and da da da. But it's like, yo, what if we're just conflict averse because we're not practiced in telling the truth? Like, people are averse to parkouring their way everywhere because people are not parkouring casually. That's a random ass example, but are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Like, normalize telling the truth. Of everyone want to normalize everything. Oh my god. When the bee, okay, I thought it was a wasp. When the bee got the legs, I saw a for real wasp recently, and I was like, there's some real meme thing out there about a dude who would imitate bugs. He would do little skits, and he would be bugs and all the helpful little bugs. And then the like wasp or the hornet was like, I just like to fuck people up for fun. Yeah, that shit stuck with me. Whenever I see one of them, I'm like, he wants to hurt me for fun. Oh my goodness. Sorry, y'all. No, I'm not. Okay. Beyond these two examples, um, yesterday, as I was thinking about this, because I have multiple things I want to talk about. This is one of them, but the other one, I think I need to be more grounded, which is why also I was like, you know what, 1.5 hours of sleep. My last one was called Rooted. I was clearly not rooted. I was so scatterbrained. I haven't even watched that video back, but it feels embarrassing. Just from the palpable sense of like not insecurity, but it was giving that because like my stomach was out at some points, and I was like, oh my god, girl, come on. Anyways, I have. There is a flip to this. Not a flip, but there's more. Anyways, um, as I look around at other situations in my life, and like, okay, small tiny thing. Um, I guess not small and tiny now that I think about it, because this has come up in different ways over time. Sorry, very distracting. It's like, oh, you be in nature, and then you just start noticing all the bugs at once, and it's like, okay, that's a lot of bugs. I want to move off grid. Don't want to be covered in bugs. Hold on. Period. Um. Okay, I'm gonna stop looking at the bugs. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's not scary. I just wasn't expecting it. I'm sorry. It's because there were a bunch of ants, and then suddenly there's just like this other weird looking ass roly poly ass bug. And my brain was like, is that just a massive chunky ant? And I just wasn't. I wish y'all didn't have to see that. I really do. I wish that didn't happen just now. That was embarrassing as fuck. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, we're lit. We're lit. We're here. We're with the bugs. The bugs are with me. All is well. Okay. Anyways. How do I, what was the, there's two examples I'm thinking of. Oh. I guess there's multiple versions of this. Okay, so there is me as a kid, and then me like maybe a year and a half ago. Yeah, yeah. And they're basically the same story. But me as a kid, I was watching I was like, on the bed watching TV with my mom. And I had some sort of like cousin, family, friend, younger, whatever, my age person. And, my mom handed me the phone. It was on a commercial break. We're chatting about whatever kids chat about. And the show came back on. And so I think I just was like, bye, and like clicked it off and then put it down and kept watching. And I remember my mom was like, like, you can't just hang up. You can't do that. And I remember being like, what? Um, which I think for her was like, at the time, was like kind of like comical. And because I was just like genuinely so unaware. Um, but that just felt very natural. I'm like, I'm done talking. Goodbye. However, a year and a half ago, I remember I was volunteering at something. Oh, cute. Young love on the stairs. I was volunteering at something, and I'm standing in a group of three, and we're not tight, we're not making a triangle, but I'm talking to a couple other people, and there was, I can't remember, some sort of like, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna do this or something, whatever it was, a prompt where like now it is okay to like we're gonna, I'm gonna whatever, and I just walk away. And my friend was like, Taylor, be nice. And I'm like the other person wasn't like leaving for the day, But it was something where it's like I can't just like go do what I was gonna do. And I just feel like and of course without giving like a bunch of specifics and context and nuance, you might be sitting there like, well, actually, But I just think that there is such a sensitivity to really small things. And of course, I can see how I might take it to like a farther degree. Maybe part of me is like rebelling against the fact that I think that a lot of the time being nice is stupid and sucks. Um, I'm still nice, you know? It's more, I keep it more for like strangers, Like no one's really around me, but I'm sure there's a social situation where if someone, someone, hey, I think that's called, no, that's called being polite. That's different, or like friendly, different than nice. Different than nice. Nice feels like bitchy sometimes in a bad way. Because I'm okay with bitchiness. That's fine. I really don't actually have a problem with that. Because it feels more real to me than niceness, which I'm aware it sounds like, okay, Taylor, you just have a problem. You really do. But the difference is bitchiness doesn't feel like a performance. Bitchiness doesn't feel like a mask. Bitchiness feels like that's how you're feeling right now. And I can handle that. You know why? Because that's true. Because it's true. Whereas you can be feeling bitchy as fuck and be nice. You can hate someone's guts and be nice. That doesn't sit right with me. And I get that we do not all have the capacity for, like, I don't want to, like, if I see someone I don't like, you know, I will just not interact with them. I'm not saying go out of your way to be like, I feel not nice ways towards this person. But it's like the the faking it. I guess another way of just saying being nice sucks. It's just being like being fake sucks. Um, and of course, I am a hypocrite because we're all fake sometimes. We're all nice sometimes. Um, it would just be so nice if if we could have a little more of a balance. If it weren't the status quo, it being the status quo, I think is holding us back from just like basic relational skills, basic conflict resolution. And I know I'm not alone in this because growing up, especially like growing up neurodivergent, like you are punished, um, often both at home and in society for just saying things that are true, just pointing, just being, the sky is blue, the grass is green, and that is apparently a problem. So you learn not to whatever, and if you don't learn, as I've learned, you there is a price to be paid. But here's the other thing. Ooh, ooh, here's the other thing. Okay. Sorry, okay. I got excited just because remind I remember my point. Okay. These dogs are so cute. They're little besties. Oh, I wish I could run like that. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, I'm really trying, y'all. If you are too nice for too long, you gonna die. That is terrible. But I mean, like, you're gonna get an autoimmune disease. Like, you are killing yourself by being too nice. Don't do that. We look at there they go. Me and who? Me and who? Okay. Y'all, I'm sorry. Like, I'm so affected, and now these people are yelling. And this is so funny to me. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I can't focus beyond this. We just have to ride this out together. I don't even know if you can hear the guy yelling with the mic. It's so funny to me right now. Okay. Yeah, autoimmune disease, not good. There's enough synthetic things in this world that aren't trying to kill us. Literally everything, except this grass I'm on. Probably some other people's grass. But like as far as like I'm in LA, the air toxic. It's like unless you go into a farmer. I just found out that the lettuce, prepackaged greens. Some dude was working in a greens factory where they package that shit, and they spray so many chemicals on it with all the triple washed nonsense that he damn near got sick and had to quit. Like, what? You talking about some arugula? Yo, you gotta be kidding me. So, we have enough things killing us. Do not be the one. Because we also got bad habits. Lord knows I got bad habits. Like, I'm probably not gonna die from autoimmune disease, but I could name probably some other things it might be. Like, it could be literally so many things. Like, what? Unless we're doing heavy metal detox parasite cleanse up the ass. That is what? So take being nice off the list because good for your health. It'll probably be tough on your ego if you're not used to it, because people don't like it when you tell the truth. But it's kind of like one of those like we got to start somewhere, yo. We got to start somewhere. We got to do better. We got to do better. And I feel like we can't make real change. We cannot build and shape our worlds the way that we want to if we can't speak up about tiny shit on a day-to-day basis. And so the flip side of this, where'd the roly poly oly go? No, don't go looking for him. Don't go looking. The flip side of this is okay. So you're like, well, I don't tell the truth because people don't take it well. Valid. I mean, you still got to do it, but valid. So there's those of us that need to tell the truth more. And then there's also those of us who really need to learn how to receive the truth. Now, granted, I'm going to go ahead and say, because my first thought is I was told a truth recently, and you know what? I didn't receive it well. And I'm not going to, okay. I'm sure, I'm sure, I'm sure, I'm sure. I know there are other examples. I'm not going to dig deep into my guts to try and find them. But for the most part, I have a pride point. I have an ego attachment to being able to receive the truth well, obviously. Um, this is something I consider to be a strength, not a perfection. So I really surprised myself recently when I was told a a truth, and I didn't take. When I say I didn't take it well, I mean more so like I didn't blow up. I'm not gonna like. I blow up very rarely. It's a very specific niche thing. It's not for this video. I'm willing to talk about it, but it's not for this video. It doesn't happen that often. I don't really be blowing up like that. It takes a lot or something very specific, which we're not getting into right now. But yeah, so I didn't receive it well, and I really surprised myself with it. I didn't receive it well in the terms of, how would I put it? Well, how do I explain this without like, 'cause, I'm not trying to. This is not about, you know, this is not the channel. This is not a diary. I'm making a point. Wow, I actually haven't mulled this over long enough to, because it hasn't been that long. I don't think I've mulled it over long enough to be able to explain this in certain words. Hold on. I don't want to make y'all sit forever here. Give me like 15 seconds. Let me see if I can find the words. Okay. It's layered. And it has to do with what I said before about how we are not practiced enough in truth telling, that when we do it, we lack so much tact. And I know that in this scenario, tact was attempted. But you know what it ended up being? Nice. Tact was attempted. Nice feels like platitudes. It feels like when you meet someone, and I hate this, and this. I know this is me going too far, so ignore me. But where it's like, "Hi, how are you? Where are you from?" Like normal, like the script that we all use, that we're all taught. I mean, I don't really ask people where they're from because I just really don't care for the most part. Really don't care, and also because I hate to be asked because I move so much. Please don't ask me where I'm from. Everywhere, leave me alone. So it was because there was a bunch of like nice stuff, and so this example, it's a very me example. A bunch of nice stuff, and then a bunch of truth telling without tact. Uh, in a way that was hurtful, you know and so I think telling the truth is a skill. a skill that we all need. Um, and yeah, me not receiving it well. It's like I acknowledged what was said to me, the points that I felt like were pretty concrete. Apologized and took accountability for what I could, and the rest was what it was. I was like, I'm kind of good off the rest, and yeah, that's a whole other conversation. That's not for this. It's a whole other thing. Um, but yeah, it's like I forgot what the rest of that example was, like where it was coming from. It'll come back to me. But hmm, yeah, I went off on such a tangent, and I totally didn't even mean to. It's okay. Whoa, trippy. I feel like niceness should be reserved for like customer service. I feel like the script works for customer service, like a checkout line, because it helps save energy for the people that work there. And that is kind to the workers. So that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I do be doing this fancy pinky. I don't know why. It just happens. I think I was making some sort of example about myself. And I had one, and then there was another, but I literally forgot. I guess it wasn't meant to be said. Damn. I really feel like it was, though. This would be really beneficial if I edited these, but I'm just not in that place right now. Plus, I have so much more to say on this, so it'll come back to me. You know what? I bet if I go back to some point in what I was saying, I'll find my way there. I can definitely go back to talking about how if we can't handle speaking up and telling the truth in small moments, and we're not going to be able to do it when it really matters. Oh, right. Bitches are going to get an autoimmune disease if they don't go ahead and speak up or whatever. Oh, right. That's what it was. How beautiful. It's right. It's about being able to receive the truth. So I think it's valid, that fear, because we are so unversed with telling it, we also are so unversed with being able to receive it. So it's a two-way street. I often find that um, it's often the same people who have a hard time receiving it that also have a hard time giving it. I think it's kind of like two sides of the same coin, where if you have a hard time giving it, how are you going to receive it? It's probably going to feel unfair. Well, why am I receiving criticism when I didn't give you any? What the hell? And then there's this like weird resentment where it's like, hey, I'm playing by the rules of pretending, and you aren't pretending with me, and that's not fair because I'm pretending with you. And it's just a bit much, don't you think? Well, I guess apparently a lot of people don't think that, but it's a bit much. It's not sustainable. And of course, like, I'm not talking about tell the truth when it's like, hey, bitch, you look ugly today. Like, I am not saying that. I am not saying to be cruel. I think that a lot of times, like, okay, like when people talk about when women would talk about women's rights and equality, and then there would always be like one dude who's like, oh, okay, so I can hit a woman, and it's like, why is abuse the first example we're giving? Whoa, whoa, that's a bit much, don't you think? It's a bit much. Um, so I think it's like, yeah, this isn't to be cruel. That goes beyond tact, where it's like there is a degree of like solicited and unsolicited. Of course, there's going to be nuance to all of these things. And I think that no matter what, no matter how positive, oh, it's a squirrel. No matter, oh, he's so cute. He's coming down a tree. Yay, hop. Okay. No matter how positive a communication style, tactic, way of being, whatever the hell it is, there are always going to be people who misuse it, abuse it, twist it, turn it, bop it, all that. That's always going to be a thing. And it's unfortunate. But just because people, he's just going tree to tree. He just going tree to, what are you looking for? You're just on an adventure. That is so nice. Oh, makes me so happy. Um, they hate me because I love a squirrel. Oh my goodness. So yes, I'm just so much happier outside. It's crazy. I'm like an hour and a half of sleep where? I'm literally more alert than I am on days where I've slept a bunch. It's crazy. But yeah, people are always gonna suck. Some people are gonna suck. And we can't let the people who suck stop us from doing our best. Cause it gets very like, why even try? Um, it's very like, well, I don't tell the truth because there were these few times where I told the truth and then someone was like really mean to me, and so I just all I do is mask now. Wow. How inspiring. Wow, you're really proud of that one, huh? Ooh. Y'all, come on. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. Now look, I be I be I get it. It does suck. And when I'm frustrated, I will say very declarative and hyperbolic statements about what how I'm gonna move and not move anymore. You get hurt, you're like, I'm just never gonna, you know. Well, fuck that, and I'm just never gonna, and they're never gonna, and I'm gonna tell them, like you gotta, but you can't just make that how you move now. I mean, you can clearly y'all doing it. Some of y'all doing it. Some of y'all are just like, well, man, it wasn't worth it, and I'm just like, okay, what's not worth it for real? Keeping the peace, getting an autoimmune disease. you know, the part where I can attempt to have compassion here is, all right, well, maybe as comforting as I find the truth, people find the mask to be just as comforting. Um, because ultimately, a lot of this is my frustration with the fact that I'm not able to mask as easily. Like I said, for work, no problem. For family, you betcha. It's just not worth it. That's different. We're talking chosen fam. We're talking chosen fam here. Chosen fam, uh, parties, social gatherings, your community, your network, just people in your life. I want better for us. I want more courage for us. I want more practice for us. I want more accountability for us. I want more truth telling for us. It's okay if we stumble through it. I think that, especially with a lot of us, how long am I going now? Okay, could be worse. With a lot of us being recovering people pleasers, wow, I really have a lot to say on this. It's crazy. With a lot of us being recovering people pleasers, um, a pattern I've noticed both in myself and in other people, and it's a pattern I don't think that I really criticize, at least like initially, is I feel like when you're new to telling the truth, like I kind of said before, it's so foreign and so uncomfortable and so worrisome and so that when you finally get it out, it is so messy. It is a mess. It is like it's just like it like that is the energy where it's like so scary that people end up like a big word vomit. Ooh, I think that's the first thing that comes to mind and really sticks out. That it's a lot of over explaining. Oh my goodness. I could have a whole video on that. Oh my gosh, working out over explaining out of my body literally took my whole life. Holy shit. It's a whole new world, y'all. It's a whole new world, y'all. It's amazing, honestly. Um, but yeah, it's like word vomit. And I've seen it in myself, I've seen it in other people. And I'm like, this is just part of the process. When you are all the way over here and it is giving people pleaser town mayor. And then over here, you got, yo, I don't want to be at this party anymore. Bye. Or whatever the fuck, just some sort of just like saying it like it is, not being apologetic, being unapologetic, um, just in a very neutral way, whatever, not too forced, whatever. And you want to be right in the middle. You want to be able to tell the truth in a casual way. And this is my belief with, hold on. Oh, actually, nice. This is my belief with most types of change. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. With most types of change, where we can identify that we are at one far end of the spectrum, it only makes sense that for us to settle cozy in to our happy middle, the only way we're going to do that is if we go ahead and travel all the way to the other side. And usually this comes after some sort of breaking point, some sort of, um, some people rock bottom, other times just being fed up, whatever it is. But I'm like, yo, like, it would be really cool if we could make more changes without having to get to that point. Like, what if it was just like frustration instead of like, I can't do this anymore, What if we could practice it casually? But I get it. I get it. The process is the process. And so the people pleaser to truth teller pipeline can be a rocky one. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay if sometimes you're a bit too much. I think it's okay if sometimes you try and then you chicken out and you tell like half a truth. I think it's okay. I think it's not the end of the world. And I think that those of us receiving it, all of us receiving it, hopefully, you know, gotta be more graceful, gotta be more curious. Ooh, it's the curiosity for me. Oh my gosh. I feel like when I hear stories about this is the number one thing. When I hear stories about someone receiving a truth badly, oh, here comes the sun, precious. Um, Almost always, upon hearing the situation, one of my first thoughts is, wow, this whole blunder, messy moment could have been totally avoided if you see the here comes the sun. If we just got a little curious, I just got a little bit curious about, oh, just like, what if we paused? What if we asked questions? What if we wondered more? What if we assumed less? And I think that this kind of trickles into something where I was like, that's for another video, which is defensiveness. Ooh, I can't wait to get to that one. Because all of these things really play into um, our ability to relate to one another. And relating to one another is important. Our ability to do that in community is important because how else are we going to enjoy playtime? I really just want to have a good time. I really just want to play on the playground. I really just want to vibe with my friends. I really just want to hang out. And do you know how much harder that is when you have to be nice? I'm down to play nice, but to be nice. I'm not crazy. Um, there is wind. There was rustling. But to play nice with one another, to be truly comfortable, like all that goes unspoken and unaddressed, all in the name of niceness, all because we haven't developed the skills that are necessary in order to casually address one another because of this fear. It is both the fault of the person who's overly committed to being nice and part the fault of those who are overly committed to not receiving the truth. We all have a part to play. But I just want to like play for fun. Like I want to have an actual good time. And I feel like most of us just want to have a good time. Like let's have a good time, y'all. Like these are fundamental skills. Like no, you're right. The generations before us were shit at teaching us these things. Do we want it to stay that way or what? Like come on. Come on. We have to be comfortable with these things. We have to be. All of it ties into one another. This is this is important because this is at the end of the day about authenticity. The word itself has been overused, but it's not, because authenticity is going to look a little bit different for us all. So if you've heard me say all of this and you're like, you know what, Taylor, you don't know anything because you don't know me, and I am just the embodiment of nice, no one can take that from me, then go on. Go on. I love that for you. Amazing. Period. I will not stop you. I love that. If you heard all this and that's where you at, then I stand corrected. Amazing. Oh, to be corrected. The more authentic we can all be, the more seamlessly we are all going to be able to co create a reality where we can all have fun together, where we can all actually enjoy cultivating this world together, where it's not me versus you, but it's me and you. It can't be me and you if we can't talk about basic shit. It's important. It's important. It's all tied in, you know? We gotta come together, y'all. Come on. Power to the people. I love it. Peace.